Welcome to the Game Disc, where every week we wrap up all the biggest gaming news from last week, tell you what to expect this week, and decide the top 100 games of all time. I'm your host, Simon St, and I am joined by...
Noah St.
And last week in news, Microsoft decided to start another fire because their previous ones had burned out, and Nintendo told us how it's doing in this crazy video game market. And then, we will decide the top 20 iconic video game characters since the BAFTAs didn't do a very good job. We will get to all of that, but first, Noah, how are you doing today?
All I'm gonna say, Simon, is we're not gonna talk about it.
We're not gonna talk about what?
Yeah, like, I know, everybody's talking about it. Every content creator's talking about it, but we're a video game podcast. We're not gonna talk about it, Simon.
Okay.
Yep. You know what I'm referring to.
I truly have no clue what you're referring to.
We're not talking about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake feud. I know everybody's talking about it, that's the big thing. We're not talking about it.
Okay, I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't care about either of them, so cool. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you know, like, what's going on, right?
Yeah, they're just, one of them made a song dissing the other, and then they're just in a feud, and no, I wish you didn't say anything, because I don't want to talk about it. I truly could not care less.
Alright, so it started when Kendrick Lamar dropped his track called Control,
Nope.
Alright?
I don't want to go into the history of it. I just, and it's not even like I think it's done. I truly do not care. Like, I don't care. So, okay. How are you doing?
But anyway, what about you, Simon? What about you, Simon? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a long week, but it was a pretty good day. It's hot here today, and I had to walk the dog, and so I'm a little like, I don't know, sun toasted. But other than that,
sunburnt.
I'm not like sunburnt. Like, I just, you know, when you're out in the sun for a while and you kind of like, I guess the word I'm looking for is like dehydrated.
Yeah, like your skin's getting dry just because
my skin's dry.
Yeah.
My head kind of hurts. Yeah, it's hot out there. If it's hot wherever you are, make sure you're drinking lots of water, because I don't think I did enough today.
And real quick, just for a quick little spoilers, something I noticed about our news today. We have 3 news stories, and each one focuses on the big 3 developers, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Oh, okay.
No,
me,
I'm
I guess.
Lying. It wasn't. It was not intentional. But you're right.
Yes, I didn't get fucked.
So let's just go right into it. Like you said, we have 3 kind of big stories this week. Each one is about a different console developer, platform holder, I guess.
Oh,
the big one everybody's talking
Ouya.
about. Poor Ouya.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
The first one is about Microsoft, because I think that's the one everybody's talking about, and I'm pretty sure at this point everybody knows. In case for some reason you get all of your news from this podcast, which thank you, Microsoft has made cuts to Bethesda Studios, which encompassed closing Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and mobile developer AlphaDog, and then I think Roundhouse Games was actually folded into
that movie
Bethesda
has Conor McGregor in it.
Okay.
Oh, Roundhouse.
No,
I thought it was Roadhouse Games.
It's Roadhouse. No, it's Roadhouse.
Oh, okay. It is Roadhouse Games. Cool.
No, it's Roundhouse Games.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Either way, they're gone. They were absorbed into Bethesda to work on Skyrim or Elder Scrolls Online.
No, Connor still works for the UFC.
Arcane Austin developed Redfall and Prey. Tango Gameworks developed a little game called Hi-Fi Rush and Evil Within. Roundhouse Games was a successor to Human Head Games, who developed The Quiet Man. And AlphaDog was just a kind of smaller mobile developer. A couple of other key points about this. Development of Redfall had ended or has ended, even though at the time of the closure, Arcane Austin was working on a big DLC that was, I think, going to fix the game and then also provide some extra DLC in the form of missions, which were promised to people who bought like the super edition of the game. Those people who did buy the Hero Pass, which is kind of their version of the Season Pass, will be refunded. And then to kind of make all of this worse, which is unrelated to the firing, but just kind of clearly Microsoft is not running a tight ship. On the same day that they closed a bunch of studios, fired a bunch of people, Microsoft announced a new red controller named Fire Vapor. And it's kind of only gotten worse from there. There's a lot more to this story, too. One of the things that irked a lot of people was that Matt Booty, who's kind of the head of Xbox right under Phil Spencer, said something about how they need smaller games, which is insane because they literally just closed Tango Gameworks, who made Hi-Fi Rush, which was very well received, and that's basically what he said they wanted. So, and this came out after they closed it, so it's like, well, you're either lying about wanting that, or I guess that's the only option, or you're just you don't realize what you actually have, which is more concerning. And this, I mean, I'll kind of hand it over to you. But what do you think? I mean, what do you think of all this? Obviously, every week we talk about closures and people in the industry losing their jobs, and it's never a good thing. And I don't mean to make it sound like this one is worse than the others, but I think that this is not only this really just shows how poorly managed Microsoft is right now.
Yeah. So first things first, I'm disappointed I wasted my interrupting joke on the Roundhouse Roadhouse thing instead of the developer Alpha Dog and making a Sigma Male joke, so I'm a little disappointed in myself for that.
Oh, don't
But
feel bad. Neither one were very good.
yeah, exactly. If Sigma Male never feels bad. But now, I think the reason why this one does feel pretty bad is because Microsoft was really working on expansion. I remember several years ago, they were like, we have we acquired like 7 new studios. And so it felt like Microsoft was like, we're going to really make a push for like expansion. We're going to have our own devs and making new games. And I think that we were kind of hoping all these mass layoffs were going to be like a thing in the past. I think this is just proof that it's going to be here for a long time. It's every time we're like, oh, these things like this might be like the last big one, another one comes. I think that the truth is we're going to be here for a long time. And yeah, I think that it is a real shame. Something that I do think is a positive thing to come out of this, which is surprising, is this is one of the few times where a reverse review bomb has been happening. For those of you who don't know, Hi-Fi Rush has been bombed with positive reviews to show support for the developers. But I also think this is just really concerning for Microsoft. Like, if Arcane Austin, like, if they shut it down or, like, had mass layoffs, it'd be a shame, but I don't think anybody would necessarily be surprised, right? Like,
Yeah,
Redfall,
after Redfall was kind of a big failure, I don't
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but Hi-Fi Rush, like, that's a game that it was it felt like I thought it did better than they expected. I know that the game
Well,
is now on PlayStation.
that's kind of sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
that's the
you're okay. Go
frustrating
ahead.
thing. They after the game came out, there was a report by Jeff Grubb where he basically said that Microsoft wasn't happy with Hi-Fi Rush.
Mm.
And one of like the head of Xbox marketing's basically in response to that said, no, we're like Hi-Fi Rush did it like very well. We're really happy with the way it turned out. And so it's like where again, kind of like what I said earlier, are you lying? Were you lying then, or is this how you treat
Yeah.
things you're happy with? Because that's not good.
Which,
Like
by the
that's
way, it is
that's
kind of
worse.
fun. Yeah, which, by the way, it is funny that the head of marketing was like, "No, it was good." The game got shadow dropped. It had zero marketing. Which,
Yeah, which is its own problem, but
yeah,
and you bring up a kind of a good point
mhm,
when you were talking about how like Microsoft was building up like its catalog.
yeah,
You're right. It's crazy that for the first time, like this was I think a year where I think this year Xbox has a stronger year. Assuming all of the Xbox games hit, I think that
which
this
we
game
always gotta assume that
ex-
though.
yeah, we can't take that for
I
granted.
jury's still out on Indiana Jones. How that'll be?
Yeah, but my point is I think that there's
Yeah,
a good chance Xbox has a stronger year than Sony. Um
yeah.
o-
Oh,
least
definitely.
it's close.
Yes, definitely. Highly
Which
agree.
it just hasn't been. So it's wild that Xbox fans might start feeling good about the brand and then they do something like this and it's like you realize you're going to be in the same position in a couple of years when you don't have any games again. Like
Hmm.
and especially a studio like Tango, why would you not want them to just work on a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush 2? Give it a ton of marketing, charge the full $70. That's a game that would do well, and if it was made on kind of a shoestring budget, they
Hmm.
could do it again on a shoestring budget. It's just it's wild, and there is kind of I'll toss it back over to you in a
Yeah,
sec. There is like a theory because Shinji Mikami, who was the founder of Tango,
yeah.
did uh, leave, and there's a theory that he took a lot of kind of
Talent.
senior level people, yeah, and talent
Hmm.
with him. But the director of The Evil Within 2 and Hi-Fi
Hmm.
Rush, uh, Johannes, he was still there.
Yeah.
So at the very least, why would you not try to like he's clearly got something. Why would you not try to cultivate him and have him lead a new project? Because he can clearly make really good games that are really creative, received really well, and
Hmm.
done pretty cheap. But
Yeah. And something you said that I disagree with you on is give Hi-Fi Rush a sequel, charge it a full $70. I disagree. I think that the lower price point was good for Hi-Fi Rush, and especially if Microsoft does want smaller, more budget titles, which, yeah, it's very surprising that,
so, oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
yeah, it's very surprising and something I think I'm pretty much done. Something I do want to comment though is Bethesda does not have any major layoffs. They were not closed, and I think that's pretty interesting how the two giant blunders of last year were considered to be Redfall and Starfield, and it really shows that despite the negative press, Starfield still did very well.
Well, but yeah, and we don't really know how well Starfield did, but
Yeah.
I think that they realize they can't really touch Bethesda too much because
Mhm.
it's they're making Elder Scrolls 6 and you need that
Yeah.
game to come out.
Mhm.
And to kind of clarify, when I said that they could charge full price for Hi-Fi Rush 2, I
Mhm.
think I what I kind of meant by that was like I think that Hi-Fi Rush deserves more than it got, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like it is such a creative and good game, and it's unlike really anything we've ever gotten.
Mhm.
And so when you shadow drop it for $30, I
Yeah.
feel like it like I'm trying to think of other games that are like shadow dropped for
Mhm.
$30 and I feel like I
Hollow Knight
can't think of
Silksong might.
Hollow Knight Silksong might, but that
That was the
doesn't but that's a
rumor.
sequel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need marketing for that cuz
Yeah.
you've already got it. But my
Uh-huh.
point is kind of this is a game that I think they could have really built it up as something big and instead they kind of thought it was nothing and then they
Mhm.
treated it like nothing. And so it almost just shows again Microsoft just doesn't really realize what they have when they have it. And kind of one more thing, and then we can move
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
The other kind of story coming out of this is Senua's Hellblade 2
Mhm.
comes out in like 2 weeks. This doesn't
That
really have a
is,
whole lot of
yeah.
that doesn't really have a whole lot of marketing. And if this game underperforms like Hi-Fi Rush and Redfall did, is Ninja Theory gone too?
Yeah, and
Um,
I think that's something that I would be very scared to be one of those
I
developers right
feel
now.
very bad if you're working at Ninja Theory. Yeah.
Yeah. because I think that's a real shame. Like, I'm hoping that morale is high, and I'm hoping the game does very
I'm
well,
sure it's
but
not. I don't
yeah,
really blame them I don't really blame them if it's not. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see if in a couple of months they pop Hellblade
but
2
that
on PlayStation,
yeah,
then we know that, oh, I guess it didn't do very well,
yeah,
and that's, I
but
think, when we can be scared.
Simon,
Huh?
that controller though,
There's a Hellblade
right?
controller.
No, the fire vapor controller,
Oh,
right? I
it
mean, like,
doesn't. It doesn't even look that good.
no, it doesn't.
I will say Xbox has actually put out. I mostly play on PlayStation,
Yeah,
and like for Xbox, if I'm going to buy a controller, I'll probably just custom make my own because you can do
yeah.
that, which I think is cool. One thing
Mhm.
Xbox has done consistently well is their controllers, but the Fire Vapor is one of their worst ones, released
It's
at like the worst time. It's kind of just. But again, I think that that's just that's just how Microsoft is running right
yeah.
now. So
Like, the only cool thing is, like, the buttons and the sticks are different colored than usual, but the actual, like, faceplate is just it does not
it's just
really look like anything special. It's just
it's
eh.
fire camo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
a company who so moving on, a company who has a little bit better news but still not great news was
Mhm.
Nintendo, who had an investor meeting last week. A couple of key notes from it. Net sales were up 4.4% to 1,616, what the heck, 1,671.8 billion yen, while profit was up 4.9% to 528.9 billion yen. Biggest growth areas were mobile and IP related income, which is royalties and other and the other. I wrote this so badly. The biggest growth areas were mobile and IP related income. That is one section, and it's mostly like royalties.
Yeah.
And then the other biggest growth area was other. It was called other, which
Mhm.
includes merch, which went up 81.6% and 98.5 respectively.
Seems like
So
people just listened to Jake Paul and bought that merch.
I guess so. A couple of other key points. Software declined 6.7%, while hardware dropped 12.6%.
Oh wait,
Despite the
so that's
drop.
also merch?
No, that's
Because this
software
is
and hardware
another
number.
point. This is another key point, which includes merch, correct?
Despite the fact that hardware dropped
Good joke, Noah. Thank you.
12.6%, OLED was actually up 1.1%. Couple of
Yay!
key. I think that's actually kind of surprising.
Yeah,
Since
definitely.
we're going into like the final year of the Switch, what was supposed to be the
Mhm.
final year. Couple of other games, which again always astounds me. Tears of the Kingdom sold 20.61 million units, which is insane.
Damn.
Mario Wonder sold 13.44 million units, and Mario Kart 8 sold an additional 8 million units, which means it has sold almost 62 million units.
That's
Mario Kart has sold almost 62 million units. That is wild.
that
Uh,
is where does that put it on like the best selling video games list?
it's got to be pretty close.
It is. So correct. What's the number currently, Simon?
62 million.
Oh, so I'm looking at it according to Wikipedia. It's the total sales is 70 million because they bundled up Mario Kart 8, which was on the Wii U and the Switch
Oh,
version. So it is currently one, two, three, four, five, six, the sixth greatest best selling game of all time, which PUBG is only at 75 million. So
I'm surprised. I guess I didn't realize PUBG sold that well.
yeah.
A couple of other things. 31 Switch games have sold over 1 million units, which is insane.
Mhm.
Digital sales were up 9.4% and now account for half of all game sales. Now, for some of the bad news, it's an anticipated slow year with sales for the year to end fiscal year 25 expected to fall 19.3%, which is not really surprising because assuming the rumors are true that the Switch 2 or Switch successor was supposed to come out this year, it makes sense they don't really have anything exciting.
Yep.
Despite the fact that most people are assuming they don't have something exciting, they did announce that we will be getting a direct in June and that the Switch successor will be announced before this fiscal year ends, which ends March 2025. So by March 2025, we will know what the Switch 2 is. And next month we are getting a Nintendo Direct, which I honestly thought is kind of surprising. I was not totally sure what they were going to do, but I mean, what could they even really announce at a Nintendo Direct?
I mean, well, obviously announce the Switch 2 and any games that were coming out for it.
But they're not going to do that
Or,
next month.
now then I guess they're probably
I
just
think they
going to be
actually did
like,
say that the Switch 2 won't be at the Direct.
okay. Then it's probably just like everything before the Switch 2's release. Like, they have the
No, I think
Switch 2.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what it is, but what is that going to be?
Gotcha.
What do you, I can't really think of anything except for like
I
those long rumored Zelda remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Metroid Prime 4. I
I think
could
that's a Switch
see,
2 game.
yeah, unless they're making that 3D Mario, and that's going
But
to be the big Switch
I
game.
think they're both going to be Switch 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for Nintendo to announce something that's going to come out 6 months later, though.
Yeah. No,
Um, so, um, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think this is kind of worrisome news for a Nintendo fan because it seemed like that was pretty much good news, with a lot of the downsides pretty much being expected because they're preparing for their new system, right?
um yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's worrisome news for a Nintendo fan because historically, no game console manufacturer has ever been good while they're on top. That's when we start seeing the most greediest of all decisions. So, Switch, Nintendo was thought to be pretty greedy this last season, and so if things are looking better, it's a good chance they're going to be more greedy. So that's something that's kind of worrisome. That
But
I think
I
Nintendo fans should worry about.
but what have they done on the Switch that's greedy?
So I know like the big thing was the Joy Cons, and something else is, according to the rumors, the Switch 2 they're not doing the OLED screen, which I remember you
Yeah.
talked about, and you were like, "Oh, that's a little disappointing." I mean, Switch 2, then they make an OLED version, people will buy that one. So
Yeah.
it's one of those
No,
things
that's
where,
yeah, so the Joy-Con thing is like
yep,
if anything that's the opposite of greed. They
yeah,
should have just fixed it because at least in America it's free to
mhm,
repair it. So I've got my Joy-Cons repaired like 3 times,
yeah,
which has definitely cost them money.
mhm,
You're right about the OLED thing. The Switch 2 probably won't have OLED, which is a shame.
yeah.
But I mean, as long as the games are good, that's the thing that matters the most to me. So, and I think that
Uh,
Nintendo learned their lessons with the Wii U. I just hope they
also,
remember them.
also something that I think was really funny was one of their biggest growth areas was mobile, right?
There was like mobile and
Other.
something else. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, mobile and like IP
yeah.
related stuff, which I
So
think is honestly theme park.
I could see that. So just something to keep in mind. That is why there's always a Fire Emblem character in Smash Bros. Fire Emblem's not the most profitable series, or not the most like doesn't have the most amount of fans, but Fire Emblem, is it Heroes? No, Heroes is something else. The the Fire Emblem mobile game is a huge money maker for Nintendo, and Fire Emblem fans like to spend money on Fire Emblem. So whenever you're wondering why there's so many Fire Emblem characters in Smash, that's why.
Yeah. I yeah. I mean, I don't, but I thought they said something like mobile. They're overall disappointed in mobile, which again, Fire Emblem was I think did the best out of all of them. But
Oh, definitely.
I still don't think they're like particularly happy with it, and that's why they're not really doing anything else. Or
I
else
mean, the only mobile games I know of is Fire Emblem, Pokemon Sleep, and Pokemon Go. Which Pokemon Go?
they did that Mario game. They did Mario Kart Tour. They did
Oh
Dragalia
yeah,
Lost. They did a
oh yeah.
couple.
But though
Oh, they did Animal Crossing.
I believe Mario Kart Run and Dragalia Lost are like done.
They are
I'm
done.
talking about
Yeah.
I'm talking about current ones, like
Well,
ones that would
but
actually,
that's my point. They're done
yeah,
because they were just like they didn't do well.
exactly. And this is like this year's profits, correct? Or last year's profits,
Yeah, but
correct?
those yeah, but I don't think that those profits necessarily came from mostly mobile. I think they were mostly royalties.
Oh, okay,
because it
gotcha.
was mobile and like royalties and then other. And I believe that I honestly think that's mostly from the theme parks.
Yeah,
Because theme parks would either be under royalties or other.
or would the Mario movie also count?
Yeah, the Mario movie was most likely under royalties. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
so
makes sense.
that's probably what it is.
Mhm.
I would be willing to bet that's a larger chunk than Fire Emblem Heroes. Not that
Oh,
Fire Emblem Hero,
definitely. Oh,
Fire
I would
Emblem Heroes. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. Okay, glad we're on
Yeah,
the same page.
and also there's that Pokemon Hotel or whatever, like,
Yeah,
Netflix show that yeah, so yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
that's probably making yeah. There, I think
Okay.
that that's more what it is because
Okay,
yeah.
that makes
Um,
sense. But no, it's a real shame, but I mean, it's hopefully gamers will have something to cheer about next generation, which is something Helldivers 2 players are currently cheering about. And why is that, Simon?
yeah. So Help Divers 2 fans are cheering because after last week where they said that you would have to require a PSN account to play the game, they reversed that decision, which means all those people who were in countries where you couldn't have a PlayStation account can now keep playing the game. And I believe that they were relisted on those systems. A couple of other points about this: Arrowhead Studios creative director Johan Pilestead,
Mhm.
Pilestead posted on X/Twitter that he was impressed by the willpower of the Helldivers 2 community and their ability to collaborate. He also thanked Sony for quickly and effectively making the decision to leave PSN linking optional. And Arrowhead has mentioned the possibility of releasing a cap referencing the review bombing. Now, because we can't just have good news.
Oh, by the way, real quick, Simon, yeah, there possibility of releasing a cape referencing
Cape.
the review
Oh,
bombing.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a typo. It said cap.
No, no worries. I was
I
just
thought
wondering.
I'd read it was a cape too, and I was like, oh, okay.
Eh.
Because we can't just have good news, for some stupid reason, the same like week and like the next day, Sony decided to add that PSN requirement for the PC version of Ghost of Tsushima, which is just like, why? You know this is unpopular, and I don't get like what they get out of it too. Like I'm
Mhm.
guessing it's just like your data that they could then sell to
Yeah.
somebody, but it's just like you know this is unpopular. It's like, okay, fine, we won't do it with this game, but we are going to do it with this one. It's just, God, you talk about companies on top being greedy and dumb.
Hmm.
Sony's in its PS3 era again.
Yep. And so something that people didn't really talk about that I personally really liked is the Arrowhead Studios, the CEO, he put out a statement that was saying like this was I believe before this happened. He was like I'd like to like give my sincere apology to the Helldivers 2 community. This wasn't a surprise thing. This was something that was always planned, and I'm sorry that I didn't make this public knowledge as much as I should have. Like I take it's not something that Sony just suddenly decided to do. This is something that they wanted to do, and I should have made it more known to the community. This was something going to happen, which I want to give him a lot of props for it. I think it very easily could have done a corporate like thing to be like we're listening to the community and we hear your frustrations. I think that I have to give him major props for being very down to earth and being accepting like yeah, this I do have to take some of a good amount of the blame for this. So that is something it seems like the Helldivers devs, especially the CEO, is he knows what gamers like, and I'm sure that he probably was a big voice of to Sony like, "Hey, we really got to reverse this. Things are really looking bad." And
Yeah.
I think that maybe that's part of the reason why they still did it for Ghost of Tsushima was like, okay, like Helldivers is making us a lot of money right now. We'll do it, but the plan always was to incorporate a PSN like account on this day. So we're still going to do that for Ghost of Tsushima, but it's still one of those things where it's like why?
Yeah,
I'm
read the
guessing
room.
it's I'm guessing it's something for also investors like and then we had this many new PlayStation Network lot users sign
Yeah, we
up
added this
and
many
it's
accounts or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Because
just
they've
like
probably hit a wall on console.
absolutely. Oh, sorry, Apple Watch. Simon was saying that he thinks they hit a wall on the console. But yeah, so that's probably the thing. Like, that's unfortunately that's the thing about companies. If you're not growing, then you're
You're dying.
shrinking, and that's bad. Which, with the exception, of course, being Netflix and Amazon companies that are constantly shrinking so that they can maintain that upwards mobility. But yep,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's just the way things go, and it's unfortunate. It really is.
Yeah.
But let's celebrate. For the most part, the Helldivers community fought to get this thing removed, and they did it. And also, furthermore, just a heads up about the cape thing. The cape started off as like a joke. A user posted it like, "Hey, here's my idea for a cape design in reference to the review bombing." And then after they announced they would no longer be doing it, they updated the cape to like restore the reviews, like because now they're no longer being review bombed, right? And
Yeah.
people were like, you know that actually now that you added like the current reviews, it makes it look like really symmetrical and is actually a pretty good cape design. And so that's where like the conversation is where the CEO was like, maybe we actually will put it in then. But yeah. But a
All
lot of good
right.
news. A lot of good news.
Was there
It's
anything else you want to say about
not
that?
really just kind of saying that like overall it's a pretty good news story. It's nice, feel good. Which, speaking of feel good stories, we actually have two other feel good stories this week. First of them is Bungie's first person shooter, or Bungie's iconic shooter, Marathon, is actually going to be free on Steam. The developer is credited as Aleph1, which is described as an open source continuation of Marathon. They pretty much are a team, or just not even a team, just a community that is taking the original Marathon and adding common features such as like widescreen support, updated frame rate, and working to allow it on modern platforms. And Bungie just announced that thanks to their efforts, they will be releasing Marathon for free on Steam or on the Aleph1 website. If you don't like Steam, which I don't know any I don't know anybody that's interested in Marathon that wouldn't want to play it on Steam,
Yeah,
but
I think that most people would just take it on
yeah.
Steam.
But hey, good for them. They included the option. They also announced that Aleph 1 is currently working on Marathon 2 and Marathon Infinity. So, yeah, Sony has announced a new Marathon game, and if you want to play the first one and hopefully the trilogy before that comes out, you will be able to for free. Which, yeah, Simon, you did you ever play Marathon?
I did never play Marathon. I don't know why I said it like that. I have never played Marathon. But I big Halo fan. Not as much of a Destiny fan. I when I was really into Halo, I wanted to play Marathon, but at the time there wasn't really any good way to do it.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would get around to this one, but I do think it's really cool that it's out there. And from what it seems like, it's been pretty well received. And just in terms of like a kind of a remaster. So yeah, I'm glad that we got like a definitive version of a, a game that might not seem super important, but it's kind of one of the first games from a very important studio, I think is a good way to put it.
Yeah. And also not related and also not a news story. Did you hear that apparently in Destiny, like somebody soloed a raid boss?
That's wild. How?
Yeah, I guess there's I didn't really see too much of the story, but I read about it and it was yeah, apparently somebody there's a like raid boss in Destiny and yeah, somebody just soloed him, which pretty impressive.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I know. You know what else is really crazy? Warner
What?
Bros is actually making a non-shitty corporate decision, Simon.
Uh,
You don't
I don't
think
know
that's
if I buy it.
crazy? You
I mean, no, I
Oh,
just
oh,
don't. I
that's
don't
what
buy
it
it.
is.
I don't buy it.
Well, well, in the words of Kurt Angle, it's true. It's damn true. Warner Bros. Will not be delisting the independent Adult Swim Games titles. This news comes from developer Owen Deary, who confirmed that ownership of his game will be restored back to him. So, this was a news story that happened like a couple months ago. pretty much Owen Deary said that adult Warner Bros was planning on delisting all Adult Swim games. The reason for them was the sales just were decreased, and it's understandable that as time goes on, many people forget, sales decrease. But the thing that was really ticking people off was like, these are independent games. They weren't created by a large studio. Like, why not still keep them up for the money of people who worked on those games? Or at the very least, like, let them buy the rights to the game or transfer ownership. So it was a really baffling decision by Warner Bros. And as previously mentioned, Owen Deary, he did confirm that the ownership of his game will be restored to him. Seems like some other devs have confirmed that ownership for their games will be restored to them as well. And it does seem like the reason for this is the negative backlash. I mean, Warner Bros. Has been heavily criticized lately. Of course, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League was bomb. They announced that Arkham Ghost game or whatever it was that people are very angry about. So Warner Bros. Like, we really need a win. So something they're like, you know what, we're going to delist them. Let's just give them ownership, give some a small bit of good publicity, which definitely right call.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. One correction: it's not that Warner Bros. Isn't delisting the games; they still are. They're just not hoarding them while they delist them.
Yeah.
It's going to be up
Oh,
to
that's fair.
the creators to get those listed again.
Mhm.
And I
That's fair.
honestly I think that, I mean, does Warner Brothers make a decision that isn't baffling? I think it's less we need some good PR and more they're like, yeah, I guess we're not going to do anything with this trash. You can have it.
Yeah.
I think that's more what it is, and
No, I think that's exactly what it is. It's like, you know what, fine, we weren't going to do anything with it
we
anyway.
really
Like, you
don't need
might
it.
as well go ahead, knock yourselves out. I
Yeah,
mean,
like if
we
you want
we
it,
we got to focus on multiverses. Mark Hamill's coming back as the Joker.
yeah, or whatever their new live service game is. All right, so that's all of the news this week. We do have some conventions, a couple of them. We have Metro ThamCon from May 17th to 19th in Chattanooga,
Is it
Tennessee.
is it Metro Than or Metro Fam?
Than, THAM.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I have no complaints against that. Like, I I really love public transportation, and being able to just get on a train and get to a lot of places is so much more convenient than having to get into your car, having to wait. Sure, they're a little crowded sometimes, but
And
I
then there's
personally enjoy
Otaku
riding train.
Fest from May 17th to 19th at
Oh,
Miami Beach, Florida.
Taco Fest.
You live in Japan. You know what an otaku is. Speaking of anime, there's Anime Impulse Seattle, which, guess where that
More like,
is?
uh, I'm guessing not Seattle.
No, it is actually Seattle, Washington.
Okay. But I'm guessing the anime impulse is not to punch any anime you see in the face.
No. That's May 18th to 19th for Anime Impulse. Then we've
Yeah.
got, I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to say this one, Goat for the Kids. It's capital G, lowercase o, capital T, capital E, space, the number 4, the kids, from May 18th to 19th in Clearwater, Florida. I don't think you should goat for the kids. Don't do anything for the kids.
I
That
got no
sounds
jokes for that. I like that one. I need to goat for the kids. Hold on, I got
GOTE for the kids.
goat for the kids annual charity event.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, oh thank God I didn't make fun of it. I'm glad I just stuck to the shitty anime jokes. Gamers on the Edge, great tournament and great cause.
Okay,
So
that makes way more sense than what I was thinking.
yeah. So
Does it
yeah,
say what the
okay.
charity's for? Just for the
Um
kids.
mm,
It's just for the kids.
it's yeah, it says goat for the kids, gamers for the Edge car show,
No,
and more. Hold on,
that's okay.
I'll try to find the information. But
All right,
okay,
I'll keep
you go
going
ahead
through
and you
this. And then
yeah.
there's Renton City Retro from May 18th to 19th in Renton, Washington.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You get to rent the entire city.
Uh-huh. And then games this week. we've got Homeworld 3 for PC coming out May 13th. We've got Dread Delusion May 14th, also for PC. We've got Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution for PS5, PS4, and Switch on May 14th. Also on May 14th, we've got Braid Anniversary Edition on PS5, PS4, Switch, PC, and Netflix. On May 15th, we've got Paladins for PC, Braid Anniversary Edition for Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Why does it come out a day later? That's weird. And Men of War 2 and Mullet Mad Jack, both on PC. Oh, and we have Toho Genso Wanderer Foresight for PC. Then on May 16th, we've got Arcadia Colony for Switch and PC, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes for Switch and PC, and Read Only Memories Neurodiver for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Switch, and PC.
Yeah, so apparently one of the organizations they work for, so I guess one of them is called Gamers Against Cancer, I believe. Hold on, so I guess the company sponsoring it is called, or like associated with it, is gamersontheedge.com. Their kind of about us says that it's hard to believe that it all started shortly after my wife lost her job. The five of us and our three kids found ourselves in a car. And so yeah, so apparently that's kind of like the main organization is Gamers on the Edge, which oh, okay, so their main mission statement is sick kids in children's hospitals. So that's what it's for.
Sick kids.
Sick kids in children's hospitals. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Really glad I didn't make a joke out of them.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. So last week, Noah, you read me the BAFTA's top 20 iconic video game characters of all times, and I think we both had a lot of problems with that list.
Yeah, Mario, number 2, above Nathan Drake. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we're going to do our own list. So I think the way we're going to do this is, Noah, I think that we've kind of got 4 that we agree are the top 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out those top 4, and then we're going to go through and kind of name a handful of characters that we think have a shot of getting at the list, and then we'll figure out which ones are actually getting there. So number 1. So one thing I kind of realized, this is iconic, not recognizable, which I think there is a difference. So
there, of course, will be a lot of overlap, though. Just a heads up.
Who do you think is most iconic?
Mario. No doubt.
You think Mario? Okay.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah. I agree. Do you still think Pikachu is in the top 4?
Yes. I'd say he's still in the top 4, definitely.
Okay. Do you think... I'd say he's maybe 4.
Okay, I'll allow that.
I will say... What I'm thinking, so the 4 that we kind of agreed were the top 4 were Mario, Pac-Man, Sonic, and Pikachu. Yeah. I think it goes Mario, Pac-Man, Sonic, Pikachu.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say maybe Sonic and Pikachu are switched, but I have no problems with Sonic being 3, Pikachu being 4. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Sonic at 3 only because until recently, he was very video gamey, whereas Pikachu is kind of everywhere else too. Yeah. If that makes sense.
But so couldn't that Pikachu's be an icon of how you transcend gaming?
Yeah, I think you're right. Pikachu and Sonic.
So you're putting Pikachu and then Sonic?
Yeah. Okay, so now let's go down the list. Noah, you go first.
Okay, so let me get my listy wisty.
Oh, if you don't have your list ready, then I'll go first. Yeah. Let's do Solid Snake. I'm sure he's on your list too.
Oh, okay. And so this is not being ordered. This is just
we're just gonna bring up characters that we think can make it on the list.
Okay. So gotcha. So boom boom boom. Okay. So then mine is Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one. Was he on the BAFTAs?
No, he was not. No Valve game was on the BAFTAs.
I mean, Gordon Freeman's probably the only one that would make it.
Some people would say like a Team Fortress character, but I personally don't, just because there's too many, and I don't.
Not over Gordon Freeman. Master Chief.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second. I am also Master Chief. Okay. And so then my next one's going to be Funny enough, my next one's also Master Chief.
Oh, okay.
So mine is actually most iconic game character of all time, Lara Croft.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you think Kirby has a shot at making it on the list?
I think that I do not have him on my list, and the fact that we need some variety between our lists, I'd say yes. I consider putting him on, so I will say mention yes.
Also, before you go on to your next one, like, one thing I kind of want to clarify now for something like Luigi. Do you think that he's kind of covered by Mario, or do you think like somebody like Luigi has a shot of getting on the list?
My personal opinion was I'm only doing one per each franchise. We don't need a Baldur's Gate
No,
situation.
I think
Because
that's
then it's like we'll put like Mario, Luigi,
Bowser. Yeah.
Donkey Kong, like it would be too much.
Okay,
So
I
I'm just
will
kind of
say
putting like
I think Donkey Kong kind of deserves his own spot too.
okay, that's fair.
I'll add him to my next slot, but you can go next.
Mine is third most iconic character, Agent 47.
Are you serious?
Yeah. By the way, this is not my list. This is just characters that I think have a
Are
shot in
iconic.
it.
Okay.
This isn't so much like I think he actually is the third. No.
Okay. You can go again since I got Kirby and
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
I'd put Mega Man.
Oh yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I that's a good one. Link. Duh.
Okay. Yep. Mine, another Capcom representative, Ryu. Which,
That's a
by
good
the
one.
way, BAFTA, zero fighting game representation.
Yeah, and I
Zero.
think if any fighting game's going to get on there, it probably is going to be Ryu. I can't think of anybody else who has a shot.
I do.
Okay, well, I bet you'll tell me in a minute. How do we feel about Alucard?
I personally feel like Simon Belmont's a bit more.
You
Simon
think?
or Richter. I
I
feel
think
like with
Richter's more
Belmont.
than Simon. You think Belmont over Alucard?
I personally do, just because of the whip. The whip is the most iconic part of Castlevania.
Yeah, but the best Castlevania is the one with Alucard.
James Rolfe, I believe, he actually thinks that Castlevania 4 is his favorite.
I mean,
There's
it's
so
fine. He's allowed to think that, but it's not
yeah.
right.
So
Symphony of
there's
the Night.
actually a lot of people who believe that like a lot of like old school fans actually they like Symphony of the Night, but it's not their favorite Castlevania because it's like to them Castlevania's like a more linear game. You get like the whip, so yeah. So there's actually a lot of people that prefer like older Castlevania titles to Symphony of the Night.
That's wild to me, but I mean, I
I
guess
mean,
there's
Simon, think about it this way: which character was in Smash?
no. I don't disagree. If somebody
Yeah,
says they
okay,
think Richter's like more
okay.
iconic, that's fine.
So do you think Richter or Simon?
I think Richter.
Okay, that's fair, especially in the new TV show.
Yeah, I know. Like when I think of, because I was thinking that I was like, would a Belmont go? And the first one that came into my mind is Richter, and that could be
Uh-huh.
biased. I could just like his design, but I do think
Yeah,
I think that Richter is more Castlevania-y.
that's fair. I mean, he is in more of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. My turn, right?
Yep. Your turn.
Scorpion.
Oh yeah, that's not a. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Are you done? Are you done with fighting games now?
I think so. I thought about putting a Tekken character, but I was like, no, Tekken just is too. Nah, I think I'm done with fighting games.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see a world where Ryu, Scorpion, and
Heihachi.
yeah, I don't
I'd say
think
probably
so.
Heihachi.
Crash Bandicoot.
That was actually my next one as well.
Okay. Do you have a good replacement? Because I could switch that.
You can go ahead and you can say it if you have a good replacement.
Spyro.
Okay, that's yeah, that is a good replacement.
So
You can go again because yeah, my next one is
so
Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I've got a couple that I'm kind of thinking of, but I want to see if you bring them up first.
Just go ahead and say it. It's your turn, Knucklehead.
Kratos.
I do have Kratos. Yes.
I figured you did.
Okay. I have one I'm surprised you didn't mention yet.
Huh.
Cloud Strife.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Cloud Strife
Yep.
is probably going to be on it. Um, do you think Commander Shepard has a shot?
I I don't think he has a shot, but I think he's good enough consideration. I debated putting Commander Shepard on my list, so yeah.
I would say in terms of video games, like Commander Shepard, I think is
I
more
think
iconic than
yes.
like Joel. No,
Okay, well, my next pick is Joel.
what is Joel's last name?
Last of Us, Part
Joel Last
One.
of Us. That's my next pick. It's John Far Cry. I think that. Well, who said that? It was on Funhouse.
No,
I don't remember
I think it
who.
was fun. I'm guessing
I
that
know it was
was.
Funhouse. I think it was
I think
Bruce.
it's probably yeah. I think it was Bruce too. Bruce
She's like,
Green.
oh, he plays John Far Cry. That gets me every time. What
Oh
is Joel's
yeah,
last name? Do you not know his last name?
Joel. What is it? Haver? Joel Haver?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's Joel Haver.
Okay. My turn again. Jum bum 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 bum. Oh, Ezio.
Oh yeah, I
Ezio
had him too.
Auditore de Firenze. I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
Ezio Auditore. I don't want to put de Firenze. All right.
yeah. I'm gonna so Ezio. Yeah, and I mean, you say Ezio, you know who we're talking about. Which, my next one, Sora.
Okay. Um, Pyramid Head.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think so.
That's a good one. Doom Guy.
Yeah. All right. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're both at. So we're at 22, and we've got 16 slots left. Um, I'm trying to think of like. I'll say Samus, but I don't know if they're gonna get on.
All right, that's fair. All right, I guess if we're going down that train, I'm gonna say Isabel.
Okay. You think Isabel
Or
over like Tom Nook?
actually, or who's the twink that everybody wanted to fuck? That was how he was described.
On Animal Crossing?
Raymond was his name like Raymond? He was the cat and he had like different colored eyes.
No, I'm gonna put Tom Nook or Isabel. I don't know who you're talking about.
You just went. You put Samus. You numbskull.
No,
This is my turn.
if you only get one game for Animal Crossing, like I didn't put
All right.
Alucard,
You
I
know
put
what?
Richter Belmont.
I'm gonna put Tom Nook, and the only reason why is because I can't remember that person's name. So you really got to question their iconography.
And that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. All right. Who's your next pick?
Who is my next pick? I'm trying to think like hmm. I I want to do somebody from Resident Evil, but I'm trying to think of who would be like who's the most iconic
Leon.
person from.
I'd say
You
Leon.
think Leon over? I was thinking Wesker.
I'd say maybe slightly Leon, just because Leon is the star of four.
That's fair. Okay.
Actually, yeah, yeah.
No,
Because I think
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think it's Leon. After you said
yeah,
he's the main character for, I think you're right.
yeah.
I think
I
it's
mean,
Leon.
just in Deadlight Daylight came out. Wesker was in the second collab. Leon was in the first.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, this one is going to be something. I feel like this will be a controversial pick, but I truly believe this. Simon Ghost Riley.
Uh, who is that?
He is Ghost from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay. I think. Oh yeah,
Price.
Ghost. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would probably
Ghost.
say Price. You think Ghost
I
over Price?
I think so
Yeah,
because
I
I
think you're
remember like
right.
yeah, because like Price was cool and he was the protagonist, but like I remember back in middle school, everybody was like, "Man, Ghost is so cool,"
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
and I feel like that was kind of a big thing for Modern Warfare 2, like the new one that came out was like, "Hey, guess who's back? Ghost."
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Yeah.
Um, trying to. I've got a couple more. I'm kind of thinking of. How many more slots do you have on your list?
I have 3 because you took some of mine.
Okay. I think that so there'll be 6 more people that will decide
Yeah, we'll do
between.
fine.
I think that that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of like a mascots because I feel like those are some of the most like iconic in terms of characters. Do you think Ratchet and Clank?
Hmm.
No. What about Jack and
I
Daxter?
well, I'm thinking like, is a pair okay? Um. 9. I'm debating if I think a pair should be allowed because on the one hand, it's like you can't have one without the other, but on the other hand, it's like that is technically two characters.
Yeah. No, that's
Um.
fine. Then they probably don't stand alone on their enough anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I might be running out. I'm trying to think of like, yeah, I think I'm really struggling. Um,
You could put Heihachi. Oh,
no,
I
I
know a
don't
good
think.
one for you.
Huh.
Banjo.
Oh, that's who I was. I was thinking of him earlier. But I was afraid he might run into the same Banjo Kazooie problem. He's a
Yeah.
pair, but I think he's a little bit more iconic. Um,
Yeah. Just because you do
okay,
see him for more of the game.
yeah, all right.
Um, Mine. This is a big. I no, I'll save this one for last. My next one, Rayman.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Um, I'll say Nathan Drake.
Oh yeah, we haven't said him yet.
Yeah.
Then my next one, CJ.
See, I think Trevor's more iconic.
See, Simon. Here's what I'm gonna ask you. Name one black character before CJ.
Um, what's his face? Barrett,
Okay, but name like one like black
like a
character. You
real
know what I'm
character,
saying?
somebody who's not like somebody who's
Yeah,
not Barrett.
yeah. Somebody who's not just like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think you're probably right. I really
yeah.
can't. Okay. Um, oh, I had somebody and now I lost them. Um, we already got Lara
I'm gonna be
Croft.
honest. When I thought of that argument, I completely forgot about Barrett.
Yeah, I only remembered because I was just playing Final Fantasy VII.
Good, but
Uh,
in all honesty, good for Square Enix making like the first like famous black character. Good for them, Japanese company.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of just like dead characters. uh,
We already
also,
put Joel.
we did already put Troll. I'm gonna put the person from Heavenly Blade. Um, no. I don't know their name, which I guess it's probably means they're not good enough.
Who are
Oh,
you gonna say?
I was gonna say like the guys from Castle Crashers,
Oh, oh,
but probably not. What
oh!
about
I got a
like
good one.
um what about like Shovel Knight?
Oh, Shovel Knight is great. Shovel Knight's such a good pick. Shovel Knight's a very good pick.
Okay.
So this is my last one from my list.
Okay.
Creeper.
Okay. I do think Creeper makes more sense than Steve. And that was my argument that I was going to make last week.
Yeah.
When I think of like but what's okay. Okay, well, so I think we've got enough. Is there anybody else that you want to add? I don't
Um.
think I can't really think of it. The only thing I can think of is maybe like a Blizzard rep, like Tracer or
Lich King.
Lich King. Lich King would be a
Yep.
good one. I'll put them both.
I'm not Tracer. No, not even Tracer is like I'd say
Who's a big character from?
Kerrigan. Kerrigan. That's her
Okay,
name, right? The person from StarCraft.
yeah, I think you're right. So Kerrigan and Lich King. What about Diablo?
Probably like Diablo.
So just is Diablo the most iconic character from Diablo?
I would think so. I mean, who else it would be?
I'll just put an Overwatch rep because we've got the other three Blizzard games. So I put
Yeah, I would
Tracer
say Lich
unless
King is number one, Kerrigan two.
Diablo Tracer. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Is there anybody else you want to add?
Not that I can think of really. If we're putting Tracer, let's put Heihachi on as well.
Okay. Heihachi.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I thought of a character. I really don't want to put him, but like
who?
default skin Jonesy. Do you know who that is?
That's the guy from Fortnite, right?
Do you know which colored hair he is?
No, is it
The
blonde?
blonde guy. Yep,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
blonde guy.
It's Fortnite. It's John
Default
Fortnite.
skin.
Um, I think that I'm good. I'm
Yeah, I
trying
think
to
so
think
too.
if there's anybody else who should maybe be on this list, and
I
nothing.
think we pretty much got
I
all the
think we've
bases
pretty much
covered.
got, yeah, everybody. So Solid Snake, Master Chief, Kirby, Donkey Kong, Link, Richter Belmont, Spyro the Dragon, Kratos, Commander Shepard, Ezio
Uh,
Auditore, Pyramid Head, Samus Aran, Leon S. Kennedy, Banjo, Nathan Drake, Shovel Knight, Kerrigan, Diablo, and then on Noah's, Gordon Freeman, Lara Croft, Agent 47, Mega Man, Ryu, Scorpion, Crash Bandicoot, Cloud Strife, Joel Haver, Sora, Doom Guy, Tom Nook, Simon Ghost Riley, Rayman, CJ, Creeper, Lich King, Tracer, Heihachi, and Jonesy.
yep, sounds pretty good.
All right. So of we've kind of got. I think it might be easier to go like at 5 down.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was also kind of thinking first what we should do is so we have, correct me if I'm wrong, we have 16 slots, right?
We have 16
And
slots. Yes,
and
yes.
how many characters do we have? One, two, three. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and be talking a bit
We
for the
have
audience.
38.
We have 38. Okay, so I'm thinking what we should maybe do is kind of trim the fat between like which characters do we think compared to the others they don't really have a chance.
Okay.
So,
That's fair. Then I'll get rid of Heihachi,
fair.
Tracer,
Uh-huh.
and Diablo.
Yep.
Do you
All
agree with
right.
those?
Yep, yep.
Let's go to some of kind of our earlier picks. Do you one of the ones that I'm pretty unsure of is Spyro. Do
Yeah,
you
I would say I'd
do you
get
think
rid of Spyro.
Spyro's no?
No, just because I feel like Crash Bandicoot kind of fills his spot, and Crash Bandicoot is more of an icon than Spyro was, so
Okay.
that's why I'd
Um,
say
I'm gonna kill one of your picks. I don't know if Sora makes it,
keep in mind, most requested Smash Bros. Character.
but that's I think a little different because that's Smash Bros. Fans.
That's true,
I
and Smash Bros. Fans aren't real gamers.
because like what role does Sora really
No,
fill?
no, that's fair. I'll give it to you. It
One
was something
one
I was.
one that you brought up that I think is definitely making it on this list that I didn't think about at all is Doom Guy.
That's all right. That's fair. Um, let's see who.
I also don't
Um,
know if Agent 47 makes it.
yeah,
I feel like Ezio is more
ye-
iconic.
yeah. I'll give you that one. I feel like because I was thinking like, well, Agent 40 Hitmans were kind of big on like the PC, but that's Gordon Freeman. So I guess that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Is we're like, why
Yeah.
are these characters iconic, and is there anybody that deserves that role more than them?
Well, do you think that there's room on this list for Master Chief and Doom Guy?
Yeah,
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I would get worried
because
if there wasn't.
Master Chief is definitely like the Microsoft representative, and I feel like Doom Guy pretty much like created the first person shooter. Like Master
Okay.
Chief. So yeah, I think there's definitely room for both of those guys.
Okay.
Um,
So I mean we've
how many do we have left?
um I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
How many did we get rid of?
We got rid of 6.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we had 38. I thought we had like 32. Samus.
You think no on Samus?
Nah, I think no on Samus. Like,
Okay.
I think she's iconic for being one of the first female video game characters, but she didn't reach the heights that like Lara Croft did.
Okay. I think I'm kind of ready to start moving people over. I think that that's going to make it easier to cut people as we see who. Well,
Uh,
who
I'm
do you?
gonna do one. I'm gonna do one more cut. Default
Okay.
skin Jonesy,
Okay.
because I was
I'm gonna
thinking like,
do.
because the banana also there's a argument for the banana and an argument for Meowscles. So yeah.
I have two more cuts actually.
Oh, okay. Who's that?
I don't think I think Lich King over Kerrigan.
That's fair. I agree.
Okay. And I don't know if like looking at this, I don't see a world where Joel gets in.
You well, let me ask you this: who's more iconic, Joel or Nathan Drake?
I think Nathan Drake
Really?
as a video game character, yeah. Maybe
Um,
now Joel might be more recognizable now, but as a
but
video
you
game
don't know if he's
character,
more iconic.
yeah,
I don't know.
because Joel.
I don't know. I feel like Last of Us Part 3 though, or Part 1, the original was just such an iconic game that, and Joel was the star of that game.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep them both on. For all we know, neither one
Yep.
might get on. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be
fair.
super surprised about that. I think we can start moving them over, and we can
Okay,
see where we're at. If there was one person I think deserves 5, I think it's Mega Man.
I personally think it might be Creeper, just because like Minecraft is the best-selling game,
But
and Creeper is like the most iconic part of that game.
I think I agree that Creeper deserves to be on the list, but I think so is there a difference between Creeper and Enderman?
Yes.
Okay.
Enderman's things are like they're there and it's kind of like Endermen are pretty much like the witch from Left 4 Dead. Like when you look at it, it'll go crazy and attack you and it's super strong. Creeper's thing was they go and they blow shit up. So they blow up your buildings.
Well,
Which
but
is
okay, so and I know that and this is maybe another thing.
yeah.
So I said Pyramid Head, but Pyramid Head is like an actual kind of character. Is
Yeah,
Creeper just a creature?
correct, yes.
And do you think that he deserves to be on the list because of that?
I kind
I
of
think that
do.
hurts him.
I mean, I kind of do just because I feel like I mean, that's just for me personally. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like in Mario Party, you can play as like a Goomba. It's like Goomba might not be a character, it's a thing, but it's kind of like treated like a character. I personally feel like Creeper's kind of one of those things where it's like it has like a personality that people attribute to it, and so I feel like it kind of is.
Okay, I mean that's
Because
fair. I don't. And again, I don't mind Creeper being on the list. I
well,
don't think it's
because
the fifth iconic video game character. I
especially
just
because then it's like a lot of silent protagonists don't really have a characterization as well. So then it's
yeah,
like,
but they're
oh
at
well.
least like Link is at least a character. Like there's like he's not a. Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
guess I get what you mean.
If
No, I'm fine with Creeper being on here. I don't think he's 5. I think that
I will,
I get what you're saying. Where well, it's the best selling video game of all time, but it's kind of it's Minecraft is its own beast. Like I feel like Creeper.
yeah,
Like when I think of maybe this is just me. When I think of
yeah.
video games, I think of pretty much everybody on this list
Mhm,
before Creeper, and I understand Creeper should be on it, but
mhm.
I don't. I think 5. I think 5. You need that legacy, and Creeper does not have that legacy. I think Mega Man or Donkey Kong does. Actually, I think Donkey
I
Kong deserves to be 5.
I will tell you what. This is me. I will concede on Creeper for number 6 and Donkey Kong for number 5.
Okay, so Donkey Kong is 5 and Creeper is
Yes.
6.
Yeah. If will you agree to that?
I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Then I think Mega Man is 7.
Mega Man over Master Chief.
I again, he's just I mean,
Like I'm just asking you. Do you think Mega Man over Master Chief? That's my question to you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying Master Chief is very iconic.
so is Mega Man.
That's true.
Yeah, I think. What do
You
you
thinking
think?
Mega? I mean, I'm going to put Mega Man just because I think he's a good example of how video games can adapt.
Okay. Oh shit.
What?
I just realized we're like at number 8 and Link's not on the list yet.
That's kind of a problem because the next I was going to put Master Chief as my number 8, and then I was going to put Ryu.
I think Link
Link
I
over
think Link
Ryu.
before Master Chief and Ryu.
I don't know. Who do you think is? I kind of want to start trimming some of this fat down here. Honestly,
I don't think so because I think that this is the way to do it. I think
God,
because I think
all
that
right.
as we're looking through the list and we see people, I think that that's a better way to do it.
Okay. You really want to put Link? Okay, we'll put Link.
I do think Link is more
We'll
iconic
put
than
Link as
Master
number
Chief.
8.
Link
Okay.
as number 8, and then Ryu as 9, Master Chief as 10.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's good. Master Chief, Ryu.
Do you think Ryu is more iconic than Snake?
Yeah, I think so because like Snake is great. We've put it in there, but like Ryu's the fighting game guy. Like everybody knows, you get a karate dude in there. He's gonna shoot fireballs. He's gonna like do an uppercut. Ryu's the fighting game guy.
Okay. Fuck, we've only got 9 slots left.
No, we do.
Or no, we've got 9. Okay, so of the 9, what 4 do you want to save? Or actually, let's make it easy because I don't know for sure. Fuck, Doom Guy's still on there too. Okay,
Yeah.
I've got I think the 4 I would want to get on.
Hold on. Let me. All right. Who would you? Who are your 4?
The 4 I think still need a spot on this is Snake, Cloud, Doom Guy, and Lara Croft.
I agree with. So Lara Croft, I agree with. Cloud, I agree with. Um, Doom Guy, yeah, I'd agree with.
Snake?
Snake, it's Snake. I feel like he is on here, but I don't know if I'd put him over like. But there are other people too that I want to say like
So
that
you're
I
just
also
kind of
really
waiting
want
to
to
see
see.
how
So like,
things like shake
yeah,
out.
like
Okay.
CJ. I really think CJ deserves to be on this list. I feel like I want to see Scorpion on this list. I don't know if he's going to be there. I want to see him though, just because. Get over here! Like that is one of
Yeah.
the most iconic gaming lines ever, and I think
Well,
that's the point. So
I put Lara Croft at 12 because I think that she's kind of the
wait, hold
next
on. Who's
obvious one.
11?
Chief.
Who was 10?
Link. Oh, what the fuck? I've got Link on here twice.
Yeah. So for me, I got 8 is Link. So 7's Mega Man, 8 Link, 9 Master Chief, 10 Ryu. So 11 Lara Croft.
Lara Croft is 11.
I'm cool with that. Yeah. Actually,
We said Ryu is 10. I kind of think that Snake is more iconic than Cloud.
see, I was actually kind of thinking Cloud over Lara Croft because he is JRPGs.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that, but I think that he deserves because he is kind of like the epitome of JRPGs. Yeah. But as a character, Lara Croft I think is more iconic
for what she stood for. I would say
I think that,
so,
and that's why I feel like Cloud goes above, or Snake goes above Cloud also.
I kind of feel like Lara Croft is iconic. She pretty much was like the first big female video game character. But I feel like now, because there's been so many like prominent female video game characters, her iconography has decreased. Whereas like as anime and JRPGs have gotten more popular, Cloud's iconography has increased.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do think that but I feel like I don't know. That's a tough one. Like,
I mean, so Lara Croft at her most iconic was like the
PS1
blue
era.
Yeah, like the blue tank top, the short shorts, the dual guns, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind though, that's not the only version of Lara Croft. Like there's also the reboot era, which then it's like even if you can say like every version of Cloud is recognizable, whereas not every version of Lara Croft is as recognizable.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think of like the yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, you got me there because
Hmm.
I was kind of like no matter what, Cloud is going to look like Cloud if you
Yeah.
saw like the clip of Lara Croft from the movie.
And that was something that I actually read, like an argument against Lara Croft is if you put a picture of Lara Croft, like of Lara Croft from the movie, and you ask somebody who's this, they would say Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, that's fair. So then do you think Snake above Lara?
That's hard. That's hard. Can we just put Doom Guy right here just to kind of make it easy? Because it's Doom Guy.
I know because
Yeah,
I
no.
think that
Yeah, you're
solid. I
right.
think
You're
Snake
right.
and yeah, I think
Lara are
Snake and
bigger than Doom Guy.
yeah, I think so.
So here's my question to you: who do you think is more iconic, Scorpion or Doom Guy? Keep in mind, Scorpion without Scorpion, we wouldn't have the SRB.
Um, hmm, probably Scorpion.
Here's my take. This is my opinion. You're more than welcome to disagree. Lara Croft, Scorpion, Snake. Scorpion, Lara Croft, Snake. And the only reason I put Scorpion above Lara Croft is because everybody knows Get Over Here.
Yeah, because everybody knows Scorpion says that.
Well, they know he's got the little like hook
Okay,
thingy.
so the reason I think I'm not as into Scorpion is because he's a palette swap. And not that that's necessarily like a bad thing. Mario's technically a palette swap too,
Hmm.
but with Scorpion like I think you're right. If you looked at somebody and you like if you saw Scorpion, you might not know that that's Scorpion, but you know he's from Mortal Kombat, and that's I think hurts him a little bit.
See, I disagree. Everybody knows. People know Yellow Ninja Scorpion, Blue Ninja Sub Zero.
What about Green?
Green, that's Reptile, but not everybody might know about Reptile.
I don't know if I
But
necessarily.
but then that's the thing is it's not if they see a color they don't know it's like oh it's a Scorpion reskin.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So but I don't know. Do people really just assume like, oh, the Mortal Kombat Ninja is Scorpion?
Unless he's blue.
Okay, I mean, I'll take your word for it. So you think Scorpion, Lara, Snake?
So I mean, even so, like I feel like he is the most iconic Mortal Kombat character, and Mortal Kombat is in the iconic '90s game because
Yeah,
that was
no, that's fine. All right, I've got Scorpion. So right now, we're at Mario, Pac-Man, Pikachu, Sonic, Donkey Kong, Creeper, Mega Man, Link, Master Chief, Ryu, Cloud, Scorpion, Lara Croft, Snake.
yeah, I think that's cool.
Okay, so we've got 6 slots left. And we've got 6 slots left, and the characters that we have on the oh man, this is getting
It's hard.
this is getting
All right.
dicey.
I'm just gonna say it. We got to put Gordon Freeman on here. Like Gordon
I
Freeman.
was thinking
First,
he's like 20 though.
I feel like we got it because he is like
No, I
for
agree
me.
with you, but I think he's like 20. I don't think
Can
that
we at
he's
least just put him on 20 then? Gordon
yeah. We'll
Freeman on
put Gordon
20,
Freeman on 20.
just because it's like he has to make the list.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Hold on. I'm organizing real fast. Okay, I really don't see a world where Joel gets on this list.
Yeah. So are we deleting Joel?
I deleted Joel. Or no, I've
Okay.
still got him, but okay.
Can we
So
want to just
here's
delete
who
him? Should we
Yeah,
just delete him?
I'll just
Okay.
delete him.
Oh,
I
by
don't.
the way, Joel's last name is Miller. Joel Haver is a YouTuber.
Okay, well. Okay, so right now on the short list,
Mm-hmm.
we've got 5 slots left.
Yep.
We've got Crash Bandicoot, Commander Shepard, Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
Kratos, Richter Belmont, Doom Guy, Tom Nook, Simon Ghost Riley, Rayman, Ezio Auditore, Pyramid Head, Leon S. Kennedy, Banjo, Nathan Drake, Shovel Knight, CJ, and Lich King.
Okay. For me personally, I kind of want to get rid of Richter. Like,
It
you know,
just feels weird not having a Castlevania, but yeah, I
it
don't.
does, but I think then that is an issue of having an anthology type of game series, isn't one of them just doesn't become like one of them becomes more iconic, but
Yeah, Cloud. Um, I Yeah, now we're getting close.
I'm going to
So if
this is
oh,
this is
what
gonna
are your 5?
my
If the rest of the
5.
list you had full control over, what are your 5?
Sorry, I'm gonna need my highlighter for this one. All right, so I'm gonna highlight this guy right here, just so I make it a little easier. Then these 3 right here, and then the last one. It's getting dicey.
Oh, jeez.
Was it late?
We're already at an hour 20. This is going to be
Okay.
our longest one.
Oh snap! Ah man, there's one character I'm like, I personally think they're incredibly iconic, but I don't know if that's like biased to when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Is that Ghost?
No, Ghost is not on my 5.
All right, what are
It's
your
Lich
5?
King. So I'll just say my 5: Ezio, Doom Guy, Lich King, Shovel Knight, CJ.
Okay, I kind of so my 5 is I
Mhm.
do agree with Ezio, so I think that
Yep.
that's one that he should go on the list. Do you want to pop him at 19?
I think if we both agree on Ezio, he should probably be a little higher, right?
Um, well, I also agree with Doom Guy.
Okay, so Doom Guy then Ezio?
Let's do Ezio then Doom Guy.
Alright, that's fair, because I feel like, yeah, everybody knew the White Cloak.
Yeah. All right.
Alright, so I like how we're able to like come to a consensus for the first 16 and 20.
Yeah. So if I had to pick my 5 were probably Ezio, Doom Guy, Crash, Kratos, and either Shovel Knight or Leon. I think
See,
Kratos. See, I think Kratos makes it. You don't think
don't
Kratos? I think Kratos
it's
over
something
CJ.
I just
I don't think CJ is that iconic.
I
I understand he's important, but there's a difference
yeah.
between important and iconic.
Yeah, but I feel like he is iconic. Like I feel
I
like
don't
San
think
Andreas
so.
was like such an iconic game and CJ was part of that.
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think CJ makes it on this list.
I will concede on CJ, but I would just let the record show I think CJ deserves to be on this list.
Okay,
I will
yeah, I will
concede
take
on
full
it.
blame that I do not think CJ deserves to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think any rock. I think there's a reason no Rockstar character does. Kind of like what you said about they kind of run into the Castlevania problem, right?
Yeah. Although I feel like the GTA games are bigger deals than Castlevania just because there's less of them and they're like big.
But I think the
But
Castlevania characters are more iconic because they're more like original designs.
yeah, but I mean
I think that
that's
because your whole point about Lara Croft, I feel like if you were to do like a modern rendering of CJ, you wouldn't really know that that's CJ.
eh,
There's nothing
all right.
distinctive about him, right?
Yeah, I mean I guess that's fair. I mean I think a lot of people probably would, but I don't know. I will like I said, I think he's on this list. Well, what about Big Smoke then?
What's Big
You
Smoke?
picked the wrong house, fool. I'll have 2 number 9s, number 9 large, number 6 with extra dip, 2 number 45s, and a large soda. All right.
I think
Yeah,
Crash.
alright.
I think Crash makes it. Do you or no?
I don't know, because part of me is
So
like,
of the three, Lich King, Shovel Knight, who else? If not CJ.
if not CJ, maybe Crash, maybe Commander Shepard.
Really? You think Commander Shepard over like Kratos?
Or maybe Rayman. I don't know. Crash. I feel like I like how it's like Crash or Kratos. It's like both of them are PlayStation icons, but they're from two like different
Different
eras. I
eras,
would
yeah.
say
I think Crash
I
over
will say
Kratos.
I will give you Kratos because I feel like he is the icon of the PS2 era for PlayStation and arguably the icon of the PS5 era.
Okay.
So I'll give you Kratos.
I put him at 19. So we've got 2 slots left.
Kratos. We both said Shovel Knight, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Shovel Knight is like the indie game.
But
Right.
but it's the characters themselves. I feel like
Yeah.
you're getting hung up on like representation, and the list
Yeah.
shouldn't necessarily
But
be
that's
about
what
representation.
an icon. Well, that's what the icon.
Okay.
That's what an icon is. An icon represents something.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
You
You're
said
right.
it's not about being recognizable. It's about iconography.
That's true. Okay, so we've got 1 slot left. I think it's Crash.
I mean, like it. Okay, so so real quick, icon. I'm looking it up. The first meaning of icon is a devotional painting of Christ or another holy figure, typically executed on wood and used ceremonially in the Byzantine and other Eastern churches. So who's the most Christ-like video game character?
I guess we're putting Pyramid Head on the list.
Okay, sounds good. Pyramid Head, number 17, 18.
Number 17.
No, so we are deciding the last one, and who is the
So right now we've got Crash, Shepard, Kirby, Tom Nook.
No, I mean like
Ghost.
17. Did we do 17 already?
No, 17 is what's open.
And 18 is Shovel Knight?
18 is Shovel Knight, 19 is Kratos, 20 is Freeman.
Yeah. Okay,
and
so
the
17...
people we have on the list is Crash, Commander Shepard, Kirby, Tom Nook, Ghost, Rayman, Pyramid Head, Leon, Banjo, Nathan Drake, and Lich King. I got rid of Nathan Drake. He's not making it.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan Drake.
I'm getting rid of Ghost, and I'm getting rid of Tom Nook.
Yeah, those are fair.
I feel like Kirby still maybe has a shot, but it's looking pretty slim for everybody else.
I'm gonna get rid of Kirby. Sorry, Kirby. I'm also gonna get rid of Banjo. I think that he is iconic for like the N64 era, but
I think Crash is kind of a similar role and more iconic.
Well, I was thinking most iconic N64 game was Ocarina of Time, so
or GoldenEye.
And then what?
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I almost said.
Let's put James Bond on the list.
I almost said Joanna Dark as a joke.
I actually considered Joanna Dark when you were thinking of characters.
No.
So this is the thing. It's like part of me wants to say Crash, but another part of me is like, we already have Snake and Cloud, whom were like. I don't know. This is tough for me. This is a really tough one. Like, part of me wants to say Crash. Another part of me is like, you get where I'm coming from with Lich King, right?
I do. I don't think Lich King makes it, though.
Part of me feels like Lich King, because, one, he's a character. Two, he was when Warcraft was at its peak. Like, that was Warcraft at the biggest.
I feel like the fact that we didn't think of him until the very, very end.
That's true. That's a good point. It took us... I'll put Crash then.
You think Crash?
I think so.
I hate leaving Leon off.
I do too, but part of me was like, who's more iconic? Who's more iconic, Leon? Is there anybody who can
kick off this list for Leon? I don't think so.
Not really. No, not really. I was thinking like, well, maybe Scorpion, but I mean, I feel like Scorpion is too, like, the violence.
That's what I was thinking too.
But the violence in But what do you think is more like an iconic of the game, Resident Evil or 90s Mortal Kombat or like Resident
Yeah,
Evil? It's
no, I
like
think you're
90s
right.
Mortal Kombat.
It's Mortal Kombat. Sorry,
Yeah,
Leon. Oh, man.
game
Okay.
series banned in Japan.
Yeah. All right. So our list is 20 Gordon Freeman, 19 Kratos, 18 Shovel Knight, 17 Crash Bandicoot, 16 Doom Guy, 15 Ezio Auditore, 14 Solid Snake, 13 Lara Croft, 12 is Scorpion, 11 Cloud Strife, 10 is Ryu, 9 is Master Chief, 8 is Link, 7 is Mega Man, 6 is Creeper, 5 is Donkey Kong, 4 is Sonic, 3 is Pikachu, 2 is Pac Man, and 1 is Mario. Does
You
everything sound
want
good?
this is something that I feel like this could lead to another argument. I think we should have Gordon Freeman bump him up to 15 and then move down everybody else.
Um,
I think Gordon Freeman should replace Ezio because just what he stands for. He is Mr. PC Gaming. He is the most iconic Valve character. Valve, of course, on Steam, they dominate it. I feel like we should put Gordon Freeman as more. I feel like Gordon Freeman's more of an icon than Ezio.
do you think Ezio's? Are you fine? So Kratos is 20.
I'm gonna
I
be
feel like
honest. I'm thinking maybe Ezio should be 20.
okay. I kind of agree with that. Do you think Shovel Knight and uh okay, so 20 Ezio, 19 Kratos, 18 Shovel Knight, 17 Crash, 16 Doom Guy, 15 Gordon. Everything else is
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's
I'm
pretty
not.
good.
Yeah, I think that that's fine.
Yeah.
Who?
The reason why I said it was because I was like, I view Shovel Knight as being like the indie like
Yeah,
rep,
no, that's
and I was like, well, indie I primarily associate with PC, and I associate Gordon with PC, so I think he should be above Shovel
yeah,
Knight.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's our list. So finally, I'll do it
Let
one
me
more
just.
time.
Yep.
20 is Ezio, 19 Kratos, 18 Shovel Knight, 17 Crash, 16 Doom Guy, 15 Gordon Freeman, 14 Solid Snake, 13 Lara Croft, 12 is Scorpion, 11 is Cloud Strife, 10 is Ryu from Street Fighter, 9 is Master Chief, 8 is Link, 7 is Mega Man, 6 is Creeper, 5 is Donkey Kong, 4 is Sonic, 3 is Pikachu, 2 is Pac Man, and 1 is Mario. And with that, that's our list. That is the top 20 iconic video game characters of all time.
According to us.
And you said CJ is the one you feel the worst about leaving off.
I do. I feel like CJ is the one that I'm like, man, I really feel like CJ deserves to be on this list.
That's kind of how I feel about Leon, but okay. All right, I'm gonna spin the wheel to see what we're doing next time.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing a list though.
Yeah,
oh,
it was.
Man.
It was a good change of pace.
GameCube, PS2, Xbox, or PC.
Oh man.
This will be a fun one. I'm fine with any of these, except for PC, but it didn't. It was Nintendo.
Okay, so we're doing a GameCube game.
We're doing a GameCube game. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Can't wait to talk about Gotcha Force.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, we're gonna do Gotcha Force.
All right. Then I think before we get out of here, what are we plugging?
What am I plugging, or what are we playing?
What are you? Oh yeah, what are we playing? And then what are you plugging?
So I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter lately. I guess it's just I say that every week. So I've been playing Street Fighter still. I switched. I'm now a Zangief main, just because I was like, you know what, like the execution associated with a lot of loot combos are pretty difficult. Zangief is pretty easy. I was an Alex main in Street Fighter V, so there are some difficulties. Oh wait, I talked about this last week.
You did.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, and then I've been playing a bit of Fallout as well. Been playing it in Japanese just for immersion training.
Nice. But, you know, our dad really liked the Fallout show.
What?
He called me. He's like, "Yeah, I just finished watching Fallout on Amazon. You should check it out. I thought it was pretty good." And I was like, "Okay."
Did you tell him it was like a video game series?
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, that's what I heard." He's like, "That's pretty cool. Who makes it?" I was like, "Oh, Bethesda, but they're owned by Microsoft." Like, oh. Yeah, he thought it was pretty good. I watched the first 3 episodes, and it is pretty good. I do like it.
Yeah, I heard good things about it. I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. Yeah, so I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth still. That game
Hmm.
is incredible. I love that game. There's so much side stuff, and usually that would like tire me out, but I don't care. It's so fun. It's just fun to
Yeah.
explore this world. They did
Well,
a really
it's
good job of making it.
well, it's great that the biggest complaint in 16 was lackluster side quests. So it's great that they fixed that in remake
Yeah, and there's
Rebirth.
still like some annoyingness. Like you've got Chadley, who's just like every time you do one, he just doesn't shut the
More
fuck
like
up.
Chad Lee
Yeah,
because he's so
no, he's the
cool.
opposite. It's pretty annoying, but the actual quests are done pretty quickly, and they're just it's. I think they're more fun because most of the side quests is not even really doing it; it's
Hmm.
finding it and just exploring the world and filling in the map.
Oh,
Is
gotcha. That's
it
cool.
the map is like done in a kind of a cool way. It is kind of like the normal like Ubisoft map,
Hmm.
but it's there's a lot of paths and things, so sometimes almost like figuring out how to get certain places is like a puzzle in itself. I don't
Oh,
know,
that's
it's
cool.
just really, it's done really cool. I really like it. And then I've been playing Paranormasight still. I'm a
Hmm.
little bit further in, and that game's really cool. uh if you're into like Ace Attorney but and also horror stuff, check it out because it's just like horror Ace Attorney. It's pretty creepy, and the
You like Ace Attorney, Simon?
I
Going
do like,
to do and compete with all the other lawyers in the AC tournament?
yeah. uh yeah, I think it's check out Paranormal Site. It's really cool. I'm really
you,
digging it.
you had no idea how to respond to that, did you?
I didn't. It's late here. This is the longest we've ever gone.
Yeah.
All right. What do you plug something and then let's get out of here.
All right. So, Simon, I gotta ask you: if you could be any superhero, who would it be?
Probably like the Flash or Superman.
Okay. Well, in a study conducted by the Reading is Power Foundation, they asked 1,000 kids which superhero they wanted to be. So the results were number 5, Superman. Number 4, Spider-Man. Oh, Bailey Bear. Number 3, Batman. Number 2, Iron Man. And number 1, Swamp Thing.
What the
They
fuck?
When they asked kids why they chose their respective hero, the most common reason was money, which is why some chose Iron Man and others chose Batman. But the second most common reason was they wanted to bathe in the swamp. Fortunately, you no longer need to travel to the swamp to bathe there with the new
This isn't
collaboration
real.
between UK cosmetic
This
companies
isn't
Lush
real.
and hold on, DreamWorks iconic film
Oh, I
franchise
did hear about
Shrek.
this.
Lush X Shrek is the newest collaboration for the beauty company with several limited edition items featuring bath bomb, shower gel, and others. Now you too can turn your bath water into swamp water and bathe like an ogre. Not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, I did see that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. By the way, do you know how hard it is to come up with a fake like charity
you
name?
don't have to. You don't have to do that. You can
But
just. You don't. It doesn't
but
have to be a bit. You can just say, "Hey, Lush is partnering with Shrek." That's
but I
fucking
wanted
weird.
to make it a bit and so it actually all started. I was like, man, I need to tell Simon about this. I was like, I'm gonna wait until the podcast. I'll plug it. And I was like, man, like that
I
must be so
sent you
cool.
this,
You
and
you
you were
did?
mad. Yeah, and you were mad that it wasn't in
Oh.
Japan. It was only in like the UK and America.
Oh, well I know my girlfriend also sent me it, and that's where I really like I guess I forgot about it when you did, but yeah,
How do
so
you feel
anyway,
that you have multiple people sending you Shrek stuff? I feel like that
I
says a lot
don't
about
know.
you. All right,
But
I'm.
hey, real quick though, yeah, I come up with several fake like charity organizations names, and all of them were real. So I was like, how? Like, God, man, it's so hard to come up with like an organization name. But
I thought that you were real.
yeah, Reading is a Power Foundation. That's a good one though, right? That's a pretty good name.
Wow,
Fooled you.
you did. Yeah, that
And the
woke me
Swamp
up.
Thing.
Swamp Thing, baby.
Hmm.
Thank you to Pecan Pie on Upbeat for our intro and outro songs. Thank you to Zach Robinson for our logo. If you liked this, please follow and or subscribe and consider leaving a rating and review so more people can find us. You can find other episodes of this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. If you want to check out some stuff I've been writing, you can go to startmenu.co.uk. I just wrote a piece about indie games. took me a minute to remember what it was about. I was like, what did I write? Yeah, it was about indie games. If you want to send us an email, you can do so at gamedisc.podcast@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the air. You can send us questions, suggestions, or anything you'd like, and we'll see you next week when we talk about a GameCube game. Goodbye.
Bye. So, like, you know how in Swamp Thing, like, there's the green, which is, like, the Swamp Thing, and then there's the red, which is animals, and then the black, which is the rot?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they also introduced the yellow, and that was, like pesticides, you know? Like, Swamp Things eats the apple with a bunch of pesticides, and he just, like, melts, because it's not the green, it's not natural.